Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will discuss all things paranormal. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now, for lead investigator and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and co-host, Michael Del Toro. What is up, guys?
What's up, everybody? What's going on, Mike?
Doing? Hey, what's up, Eric?
I'm doing good.
So
first show ever.
Yes, sir. My name is Mike Del Toro. I'm an investigator with Party Paranormal.
And I'm Eric Vanderlaan, your host, and Mike's my other host, and I'm the team leader for Party Paranormal. And what we're going to do is, let you know a little bit quickly about Party Paranormal. We're a team based in South Florida. We cover from Miami all the way past West Palm Beach, and we're a pretty large team. I'm the team leader of the South team. So we have two teams divided in different groups, but we're all one big family. Hey, Gina. And then the main reason or the main purpose of War Party Paranormal is to help people. Anyone that has paranormal problems, we're non-for-profit. We don't charge anyone for our services. And if anyone's listening or watches this broadcast and you're local, you know who to come to get some help. And then Mike,
War Party Paranormal, we also hold public events at a lot of different locations to bring the public out, bring awareness. We'll show them what we do. They can tell that we're not messing around or anything. Everything is truthful and honest. And we do EVP sessions and different equipment and show the guests. You can find that on our website, which is right there going across the bottom, upcoming events and locations. Saturday night, we're going to be at Gold Coast Railroad Museum, and we're going to have some guests come out. We're going to do a live interactive paranormal investigation.
Yep. And that's what we do. We do a lot of events at historical locations all over South Florida. And we also have TV spots that we do regularly for the Latin TV network, Univision. Any of your Latinos know of Univision. Hey, Scotty. And that's how we spread the word out. That's how people, are able to reach out to us for help by the events and, going on TV as well. So before we get started and go into the next subject is what you can expect from our show. Our show is going to be different. We're going to try to change things up a little bit to where not only will we talk about our most current investigation and show evidence of it, but in the future, we're going to look to showing our paranormal investigations live on a Saturday night on our War Party Paranormal YouTube page. And then on the following Monday, we're going to discuss, what went on. And that's just one topic right there. And then on top of that, we may split groups up and go in two different locations at the same point on a Saturday, maybe one right after another. And then on Monday, we'll discuss which one we thought had the most activity. And we'll talk about, the evidence that we got.
Almost like a face-off, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Try to make things different. And then also, of course, we're going to have guests, paranormal investigators from all over the world, some that you may know. And then they're going to talk about their most haunted location that they have investigated and the evidence they got as well.
And what's also really cool is, during our events and different things like that, we like to document and record what's going on. We'll video. And what we're going to do on this show is we're going to show you guys some of the evidence that we captured. So it's not going to only be just us talking. We're actually going to interact with you guys. We're going to show the evidence that we captured, and we're going to bring on our team members and discuss our investigations.
And then one quick point that I forgot to mention. Well, I didn't forget because I'm saying it now, but I just want to give a shout out to our co-founders, Marla Scotty Burns. She's one of our co-founders, along with John Zapp Adderalt. They're the ones that created War Party Paranormal. And War Party Paranormal, it's not one person running the whole thing. Everyone's a part of it. We're all running it together. We're one big family. And
we're a big team. We're a big team. I think we have almost close to like 30 members.
Yeah, definitely. And we probably do like events at what, like 6 locations now? 6
Yeah, and each location has multiple locations at that location. Like like at that place, there's multiple structures that
right.
That have
and like
activity.
what we're going to go into with the Riddle House. So it's actually at a site called Yesteryear Village. And basically what Yesteryear Village is, it's a museum. It's a living museum where they have an accumulation of historical buildings that were going to be demolished, but they rescued them and brought them to this one location and restored them back to their splendor. And the funny thing is that all these buildings all have their different personalities, and they all have activity, and they're all haunted, and people see shadow figures like at night, walking through Yesteryear Village. But we're gonna talk about the one that everyone knows. Hey Zap, what's going on? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lead into what everyone knows about. It was featured on Ghost Adventures. I believe it was their first season.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah,
I'm just going to add something right there real quick. They were the last paranormal investigators that were allowed to investigate the attic of the Riddle House. Yeah. It was in 2008. And after that, they locked the door. Nobody was allowed up in the attic. Nobody was allowed to investigate. And with Scotty, and with Scotty and Zap and their relationship and the team's relationship with Yesteryear Village, we proved that we could be trusted, and they let us up into the attic to investigate. So we're the first paranormal team that they've allowed back in since 2008.
Ever.
Which is
awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool. And another thing that you guys should know is that all these historical places where we do the events, we don't take a penny from them. All that money is donated to the museum, to help with the upkeep. Hey, Bill.
All right, so what we have in store for you guys, we're going to give you like a little rundown. Eric put together some videos. We're going to show a little video of the Riddle House, and he's going to put that up for you. And then we're going to bring on some team members, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we've encountered.
Yeah, I'm just going to show like a short video intro of the Riddle House, and then that's going to follow up with an EVP we got of one of the spirits that's there. So here you go. Check it out. Have any personal experiences here?
Well, at the Riddle House. When I went upstairs, something touched my back. Yeah, I got boom. See, I got goosebumps on it, And I've heard noise. I go by there sometimes, and I'll look up at the top. Look like somebody's standing in the window. Stuff. Well,
they're friendly ghosts, right?
Yeah.
The attic window.
Huh?
The top window?
The attic window.
Oh, the attic.
The attic.
And what happened in the attic window?
Well, I guess that's where he hung himself or something.
Joseph, he was
supposed to have hung himself up in the attic. So that's where all the spirits are up there.
Something was blocking, and we figured it was the guy up in the attic. And then he said, "Get out."
the guy that hung himself up there. What was his name?
Some people say it's Joe or Joseph, so that's what was going on.
And what was Joe? What did he do here?
Supposedly he worked here, or worked for Mr. Riddle, and they accused him of being a thief. And so that's why he's upstairs. He can't go on because he kept saying he was innocent. Oh no. Yeah.
So that's the story right there. And he's not the only spirit, right, Joe? He's the
That's
most
right.
well-known one, though. He's the one that gives us the most, activity. But there are other spirits there. The Riddle House was one of those houses that were moved. That was way out east in West Palm Beach on a cemetery, and it was a funeral parlor. And Joseph was one of these workers that worked there that was accused of stealing money, and he's the famous spirit that's there. And he was upset about the stealing of the money and ended up going up to the attic and hanging himself. And like the famous scene in Ghost Adventures is that one where Aaron got locked up in the attic, and I believe, like, what was it, like a 2x4? Like, I don't know if that's real, but I wasn't there, but we get stuff there, and it's legit. It's definitely
It's amazing.
definitely
Some of the EVPs that we've captured in that location, you could tell that we've kind of come to the conclusion that he doesn't like men. When we have men asking questions during an EVP session, it almost seems like he's like angry,
loves
but
women.
if we have women ask questions and do that, kind of seems like a little bit of a softer tone. And we're gonna
alcohol is involved too. Preferably bourbon
exactly.
whiskey,
I guess
right?
he was a drinker.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have something to show you guys here in a little bit. But we're gonna bring on a couple of our team members, and then we're gonna play an EVP, and then we're gonna discuss it. So
Yep. And then after the EVP session, what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our case manager and location coordinator, Tim Arnwine. He helps me run Ghostly Experience, and along with our co-founder Scotty. And every show we're going to have halfway through the show a tip of the week for anyone that's interested in becoming a paranormal investigator or finding a location or getting tips from another team and seeing how we do it. That's what we're going to do.
These are seasoned guys, man. Tim's been at this for a long time. I've learned a lot from him. He's a really good guy. And Scotty and these guys, and all of them, they got tons of experience.
We got over 100 years.
Exactly. So, all right. Did you want to play that clip now, or do you want to bring our?
Let's start off with the EVPs. So,
okay,
these are like our recent EVPs. The one that I'm going to show now is with one of our investigators, Sarah, and we were doing an EVP session, and we were just talking about Joseph, and in this video, and we got an EVP of him. So, check this out.
Is there anything you want to tell me before we introduce you to some of our friends? Whiskey. You want to party with us? You want to tell me before we introduce you to some of our friends?
That's I'm Joseph.
By the way, we don't normally play bass music during our EVP sessions. It's that next to Yesteryear Village, there's the Florida Fair. So that was the music coming from there. But you can see that the music there had nothing to do with the voice that we captured.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring on a couple investigators that are on our team and personal good friends of ours. So we got Joe Torino and we got Ernesto Paez.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
How we doing?
How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thanks for being here.
What's up, everybody in the chat? How's everybody doing on YouTube and Facebook? What's going on? Everybody having a good time so far?
So Ernesto, why don't you give a shout out about yourself real quick?
Well, my name's Ernesto. I've been with the team for not that long, actually. I actually haven't even really known you guys for that long, but you guys are super cool, and we've gone on some cool investigations. I'm actually in a band. I'm a musician, and my band is Modern Mimes. And, I actually kind of do some of the music for these guys' videos, their YouTube videos and stuff like that, and their Instagram videos. And I'm glad that they enjoy it. And I'm glad to be part of the team as well.
All right, cool. And Joe?
Hi, guys. My name's Joe Torino. I'm investigator with Party Paranormal. Been part of the team for, it's about a year now, just over a year. But I've always pretty much investigated on my own. Actually started with my younger brothers a while back, maybe over 10 years now. And, a lot of same story as a lot of people. Grew up in a house that had activity and saw a lot of stuff going on and just wanted to know what's up, what's going on. So this is why I do it, and I love what we do. I love our team. I've made some great friends, and I'm just happy to be a part of this. And thank you guys for having us on tonight.
All right, sweet. So
and a quick shout out to besides everybody on War Party that's watching right now. Thank you guys, everybody who's watching.
Yeah,
our buddy,
we got some team support. We got all our team members watching,
and we got Dan Tex also, big supporter of ours. And what's up, buddy?
And Justin T from last night. Thanks for coming to our show.
Thanks for coming on over.
And also shout out to Jessica. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. She's the one that introduced us to Bill. All right, so what we're going to do, go ahead.
No, we're also going to talk about a little, as investigators, we always want to be innovative and try new things and do different experiments. And so we actually did an experiment up in the Riddle House attic where we mixed two different.
By the way, I got two more EVPs I want to show off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just talking about real quickly. We're gonna talk about that a little bit after, but we did some pretty neat experiments and different things, and we're gonna show that as well.
Yeah, we're gonna start off with the EVPs, and we're saving the coolest part for last, and that's why Joe and Ernesto are here, and you guys can chime in on what was going on. I mean, I know Ernesto's in one of the videos, and with the EVPs that we captured, so. We got
a lot of good stuff, man. We really did.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good. That place is
all
awesome.
in one night. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yesterday Village.
That place does not disappoint. It doesn't matter where it is, man. The Riddle House does not disappoint.
And it's not the only haunted place there. It's the other buildings as well.
That's true. Very true.
Okay, so I know Jenny and Armando, they're our teammates. They're on the chat here. I'm going to show this next video. That was pretty impressive. I'm just going to let it speak for itself, and tell me what you think.
Jacob is a little boy. He fell out the window on the second floor in the playroom and died. We've gotten his voice too. Let's see if we got anything.
Oh, what it put out?
Right there. Is that like 7?
I said it again. 7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Listen.
Yeah, that was 2 times.
Hear that? 7. Wow. Play it again. Seven. There's 7 of us. That's pretty cool, right?
He's not wrong.
Yeah, so by the way, there are other spirits there as well. Everyone here that's on the show and that's on the chat on our team knows that. There's a boy there that's named Jacob that fell out of the window. His spirit still remains there. And I believe also a woman as well, but the most predominant one is Joseph that was hung there. So as you see that was like pretty intelligent. Like we asked like how many people are here, and it said how many people were there. So
we were getting a lot of good responses, man. From every EVP session that we did, we got solid stuff, man. And I'm so glad you got those videos, man.
Yep. So we're gonna go to the next one, and the last one, and then Ernesto was there. So at this point here, it was just Ernesto and I in the attic, and we're doing an EVP session. And sometimes it's kind of hard to hear what they're saying until you like watch it like at home and on a computer or with headphones, things like that. So we had the sort of an idea what it was saying, but we weren't sure. But I'll let you guys check it out.
What? Holy there was something there. Something like I'm here. Something's right there. Play again. Listen. Something's right here. I don't think I said that.
No, you didn't. None of us said that.
Play one more time.
He was straight with like a man's whisper.
Little modern mimes at the end.
Hell yeah, thank you.
And that just goes to show you, like, when you're listening live back, you might not catch it right away, but on review and going back, that's why it's so important to go back, film, play back, listen to your EVPs, and then you get that, what's really coming through.
It's important to know the history of the place too, because that way you can kind of like validate what's being said or what you capture. So
it doesn't get any better than that when you get your evidence and it correlates to the history. It all match up together. And like Ernesto, when we were in that attic and we were listening to that, if we would have heard that it said I was hung here, we probably would have. I don't know.
Well, Joe and I were actually.
Thank you, Cryptid Huntress.
Yeah, Joe and I were in the kitchen area doing an EVP session while you guys were doing that, and I remember
you guys were upstairs.
Down. Exactly, and then when you came down, you showed us that EVP because I think at that point you realized what it was saying, and you were excited to show it to us, and that was wild. It was really, that was a great EVP for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of other things that have happened that personal experience. I mean, I can only tell you what happened. You can't see it or whatever. But like, for example, like the front door and the kitchen door, those are two entrances into the building. They have these like little bells that hang on the top of the door. It's like an old time like doorbell. So when you open it, and it vibrates, the bell rings. Yeah. That thing goes off all the time. Like I even seen it move, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the heck? I mean, it's crazy, right?
And it's in the back room too, in the kitchen area. Which is, if you walk into the house and go towards the back in the kitchen, I mean, we've heard that thing just bing, and we're like, wait a minute, hold on.
Somebody just walked in,
right?
Yeah,
no, that's in the back.
And people have been downstairs and heard people upstairs walking. You hear footsteps or things moving, and no one's there. So it's crazy.
I mean, I remember the first night I ever investigated there with you guys. I had literally just joined the team. It was my first time at yesteryear, and it was just you and me, Eric. And we had walked upstairs, and you were actually doing Instagram Live, and I had my camera recording, and I actually captured an EVP on my camera just as I was walking up the stairs,
right?
And it was like saying, it's like you were explaining something about Joseph, and the response was he didn't do that, or I didn't do that, something like that,
right?
So I mean, it's it's active and intelligent, whatever is there, because we do get very intelligent responses in that location.
And the next day, he wanted to join the team.
That was it. I was like, I'm in.
We've had like all kinds of equipment going off, cat balls, REM pods,
motion detectors,
seen shadows. I mean, you name it.
And by the way, if you follow our social medias, that it's on the website for KGRA. We post all our evidence, and you'll be able to see it.
Most of our stuff's on Instagram and things.
I remember clearly that remember Joe, you were running on your task cam pretty much the entire night when we were up there in the attic, and I think you got like a female voice. It was very faint, but when we heard it back, it was definitely there, and that was a really cool piece of evidence, man.
Yeah. What was really cool about that is I started doing with the Zoom recorder. I started doing live listening, I'm plugged in with headphones on, and I'm just walking around trying to listen. And, we were actually in the middle of our EVP session upstairs with, most of our team members at that point. And in between the talking, it was just another female voice that just came through that I was just like, hold on, listen to this, check this thing out. So that was really cool, especially to be able to catch it like that live in the instant, because it's a different experience when you're doing EVPs.
Yeah, definitely. So what we're gonna do next, because time is going fast. And for you guys that are watching, this is just the first show, but our other shows will run longer, and you'll be able to see it on the other platforms. But what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do every Monday is do tip of the week. Like a little intermission, and we're going to bring our case manager and location coordinator, Tim Arnwine, and he's going to give the tip of the week. And then we're going to continue to Mike, the mad scientist experiment.
Oh, yes.
Joe
You're in
the
for a
guinea
treat.
pig, and we're going to do that next.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's in for a treat. Stick around because that was an awesome experience, man.
For sure. All right. So, Mike, you want to bring in Tim?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
And
Hey,
then
guys.
you're gonna take us out.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Tim?
You guys are doing a great job, man. Love the Riddle House.
Thank you, sir.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Awesome.
Love it.
So we're gonna.
All right. So, you ready to get,
and we're
get
gonna
rolling?
Let you,
Yeah, man.
Give the tip of
Yeah,
the week.
Hey, I'm Tim Martinwine. I'm the long-haired ghost hunter, as you can tell. I'm the case manager, location coordinator, and one of the lead investigators for War Party. Now, I've been doing this for, over 20 years. So I'm also the author of Ghost Hunting Getting Started. So I'm going to be here to give you the tip of the week. So we're going to start basic, joining and forming a team. Now, if you've been doing this 20, 30 plus years, you only had one option at the time: go out by yourself. But now there's teams everywhere. There's teams all over the country. So now you have another option of joining a team. And I always recommend that, because if you get in with a good team like War Party and other credible teams, they give you what you really need: experience and credibility. Now, to join a team, you can go as basic as people have been putting their names out on messages. You know, Joe Smith from Anywhere USA looking to join a team. Give me a call. Or you could use some things that are national registries, like paranormalsocieties.com or ghoststop.com. Now, what you do, you go on these websites, you look for teams in your area, click on it. Everything's listed by states. So you click on the state, see if there's something in your area. You'll contact the team. Their contact information is there. And just see if they're expanding. Okay? Now, for us, War Party, we've had a lot of success finding members through events. You know, as the guys mentioned, we do 25, 30 plus events a year. And we have people who repeatedly come to the events. You know, they pay to come to events to investigate with us. And as we go along, you know, they get to know us, we get to know them. And then they'll show interest in joining, or we'll actually offer them to join the team. So that's another way. You know, my advice is look in your area for teams that are doing tours, you know, investigations, things like that, and hook up with them and just see if they're expanding. Now, your third option is forming a team. Now, to me, the ideal team member is obviously someone who can commit the time and someone who's willing to learn. Okay. Now, forming a team, you know, you don't have to go from 0 to 30 to form a team. You know, you can start with 2 people, like Joe and Mike, best friends. They were in the ghost hunting. They started investigating with themselves. We have team members who are husband and wives, co-workers. You know, all you need is a couple people to build on. Now, another thing, you can go back to the social network thing, except this time you're going to put, you know, Joe Smith, Anywhere USA, looking to form a team. Now, I remember when I started my first team, I did something called meetups. I don't even know if they're around anymore. It was an internet thing where you got the list, you know, your interests, and people would meet up with you if they have common interests. The greatest advice I can give for that is, it sounds a little cynical, but you don't know these people yet. So I would always meet in public places, you know, restaurants over coffee, bookstores, things like that. But it did work, because I did find 2 investigators way back when who were great, and I'm still friends with them to this day. Now, my last piece of advice is, as you're building your team, now, War Party's a big team and we're very busy, you know, but as the guy said, we never charge for an event. So there's no payroll. So you have to remember that your team members are volunteers. They have families, jobs, businesses. So as you build your team, always remember, try to build to the numbers that you can be comfortable that you're going to have coverage for your investigations. Okay, so that's your tip of the week. We're starting basic, but we're getting into the tools and a lot of other stuff. Okay, So you guys be safe out there. And if you're in South Florida, come out and visit us.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Tim.
you, Tim. That was awesome. You're the man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. You guys did great. Great show. You guys are doing an excellent job, man. Excellent.
All right. So we'll continue on discussing our investigation at the River House, at the Riddle House, River House. We got a place called New River Inn, but whatever. But right.
First show jitters.
Exactly. All right.
The New River Coast Inn.
Right.
By the sea.
By the
By the sea.
Exactly.
First
Sounds
show
enticing,
jitters.
right?
We got to have fun. We got to joke around.
We're opening a new restaurant.
You know, that's also
Exactly
really
right.
important. You know, a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with is pretty morbid sometimes and dark. So you gotta make sure
It's
that
our
you
escape
have fun.
from the real world, you know. But this is
Yeah.
the real world. I mean, we're getting real stuff. So it's some crazy things sometimes.
Yes, sir. It sure is.
All right. So our first segment on the Riddle House was the EVPs. Now we're gonna go with the experiments. That's Mike's baby, so I'm gonna let him take over there. Did you want to start, or do you want me to pop up a video?
Let me first. I'll discuss a little bit about what we've been doing, and then
All right.
so when they see the video or hear it, if for the people that are listening on KGRA, they can kind of understand what's going on. So we've been doing the Estes session method for quite some time. Joe is usually our sacrificial lamb that we will put in the chair.
Poor Joe.
If you guys are unfamiliar with that, it's basically you're listening to a spirit box through some noise cancellation headphones with a blindfold on while people ask you questions, and you repeat what you hear and you see if they coordinate and line up. So I wanted to take this a little bit further because we've been doing it, and it's
by the way, Joe's a sensitive one, so that's why he's the guinea pig on this experiment.
Exactly. Joe is sensitive, and he can feel when stuff's around and different things of that nature. That's a whole nother episode on itself. Just kind of going through that whole deal.
One quick thing. I see a poor Joe comment there. No. Joe volunteers for this. Joe loves doing this and the experience that I get out of it. So
no, we all love Joe.
Dumb Joe, sometimes maybe.
No. Sensitive Joe. I like that better. That should be the name of the next episode.
There's a big teddy bear.
Joe.
Sensitive Joe.
So
I give me some Joe hugs.
Big old hugs. Big old free hugs from big old sensitive Joe.
Just like his paranormal services, he don't charge.
So like I was saying, we wanted to kind of take it to another level, and we wanted to do some experiments and see what else we can do to produce more evidence. So I was kind of studying a little parapsychology experiment that they were doing years ago, and Joe actually brought this to my attention, and I just kind of took it the next step. So there was an experiment called the Gansfield experiment that what they would do is they would take ping pong balls, cut them in half, lay them over your eyes, and shine a bright red light at that. And then you would listen to white noise or pink noise, and they would test ESP with this experiment, right? So I was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, well, it's kind of very similar to the Estes method, what we're doing, a little different. But what if we did that and, because it's sensory deprivation. So if we put the red lights, over the subject, and instead of
like double
white
torture,
instead of white noise or pink noise, we replaced it with a spirit box because that's basically a white noise, right? So I wanted to make this a little bit easier so we could transport it, and bring it around. So I actually took some like steampunk like style goggles, and I drilled a little hole in there and put some red LEDs,
badass,
and then whitened it out and diffused it. So you can actually wear these goggles with the red lights in it without having to bring ping pong balls, all this and that and the other thing. So we did a test in the attic. Basically so now Joe has the
it was crazy
noise cancellation, noise cancellation headphones on.
Sound isolation. It's a little different. It's,
I'm sorry, I said that wrong word. It's sound isolation. So they're basically drummers headsets. So you cannot hear anything outside the headset. Right. And that's plugged into an SB7 Spirit Box, and that now he has the goggles on, and he can switch it between solid or strobing. And then we tried basically doing the SS method with this, and we call it the Delco experiment, kind of, joking around off my last name, but
now that's what it's going to be called. That's what it's going to be called from now on. I don't care what anybody says. It's the Delco
all right,
experiment.
The Delco experiment. We patented it.
That's right.
Then I need to buy batteries or something,
right? AC Delco. And if anybody wants to try it, if anybody is an investigator out there and you want to try it and you do it, just post it on Instagram, #Delco experiment, and we want to check it out. We want to see it.
Yeah, so don't go crazy. You might be able to stand up and walk after that.
No, we definitely, and that's one thing, like, we definitely encourage people to try it, because you know what, like, we are, War Party is our own team, but especially everybody that's investigator, period, we're all in this together. We're all after the same thing. We're all trying to find out, and we want to test different things. So try it, experience it, it's incredible, especially when you get some of the results that we get through it, and some of the things that I experienced through it is it's insane, and I could talk about it all night, but until you try it for yourself, you're not going to understand.
Keep in mind with the strobing aspect of it, if you're prone to seizures or epilepsy or something like that, you want to be careful with that side of it.
You get a physical.
Yeah, just be careful on that side. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So why don't we jump right into this, because even he was saying things that made sense. We were experiencing things as well, right?
Yeah, no, that was actually a really incredible session, just because I actually remember a lot of what Joe said, and one of them that kind of stuck out for a few days was the pyramid thing that we were talking about. There's a funny, there's kind of like a funny thing behind that, which it's I don't know if we can go into it, but a hallway, a pyramid. You said Joe a lot. I think you said my name. I think you said all of our names.
Yeah.
I believe
all of our names come through. Yeah.
You said a few obscenities that we're not going to mention here, but it was definitely it had its funny moments, and then it had its kind of like dark
Joe experiment. Scotty said.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that, Scotty.
Well, let's show a quick clip, and so people can get a visual idea of what was going on. All right,
do it.
Let's do it.
Ready?
We're gonna have to let Joe out of this here soon. So if there's anything,
is that Eric?
That's me. Finally,
Joe's gonna talk.
Oh yeah, I'm listening. Okay, the Joseph I know.
The hell is this?
You just said my name.
So this is some equipment that we're using to try to communicate with you. Nothing to be scared of. We don't mean to harm you.
Eric.
That's me. I'm here.
We got Eric, Mike, Joe, Ernesto, Kat, Katie.
Now my night's complete because it said my name. Thanks, Joe.
It just looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, even if nobody has any idea what's going on in that moment, if you're looking at that, you're like, "What is this? This is awesome."
Right. It wasn't only just that. I mean, it was like we were seeing like a shadow figure. Joe, you got touched on the arm. Mike smelled like someone breathing with the alcohol breath. Like just like
clear
things were going on there, right?
Day. Like I was sitting right next to Joe at one point, and we were talking, and we were like talking about alcohol, because supposedly Joseph, the man that was took his life in this home, was a drinker. So we were talking about bourbon, and we were talking about, and sure enough, I smelled somebody's like breath, like, when somebody's been drinking like heavy alcohol and they're talking a little too close, and you could smell like that booze on their breath. And I honestly, I thought it was one of us, but I was like, we don't drink, you know, I don't drink. Ernesto doesn't drink, and Ernesto was right next to me, and it was wild. It was a phantom smell, and that was crazy. It was a crazy experience.
Yeah. Let's play the video on that.
Do it.
All right.
Anybody drink before they?
Hi.
I just caught like fucking alcohol breath. No. I swear to God, like, you know, when you're talking to somebody.
Another hi.
Hi. I swear.
No, I asked about bourbon. Remember?
I swear, it smelled like if you're talking to somebody after they're drinking, like just like an alcoholic breath.
Not like beer.
No.
And I just asked about bourbon.
I swear, smelled. That was crazy, bro. Phantom smell, bro.
Right.
What kind of liquor do you like?
I thought you might have been drinking or something before. You don't drink.
I don't drink.
Nobody here really drinks.
I don't think anyone drank.
Next time we come, we'll bring you a bottle of booze. What do you want?
It.
We'll leave
out the door.
Leave it at the door? That's not very nice. I'm not going to bring you one if you just want me to leave it at the door.
Yeah, we're gonna hang
Feeling something around here?
Leave it at the door.
Yeah, we're not like a delivery service.
They want nothing to do with us, man. Nothing to do with us. They just want that booze, bro.
No, but the funny thing about that is whenever we talk to Joseph, we're at the door. We can't go up there.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's what he was talking about.
That's true.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, because this was the first time.
Normally the attic's locked.
I mean, right. I mean, we've recently, our team has recently been coming up and investigating. This was our first time going up. At least me, Mike, Ernesto. I don't remember if Eric had been there or not. But yeah, that actually makes sense because the door to the attic is normally locked whenever we've been investigating there. So that's
we were talking about
really
this a little earlier that, you know, Scotty and Zap and their relationship with Yesteryear Village, and we earned their trust, and we were actually the first team that they let back in there since 2008 when they filmed the Ghost Adventures in there.
Yeah. And by the way, anyone that's on the chat, ask us some questions. We're just going to continue and talk about the investigation, but we'll pop up your questions and we'll answer them for
you. I think I loaded that whole session is on my YouTube as well. The whole Delco experiment too. So if anybody wants to check all that
Florida
stuff out.
paranormal researcher.
And if anybody looking, we were talking about some of the stuff that came up during that experiment, some of the things that came up after about 20 minutes in the session. I started having a lot of visuals, and usually I get a lot of visuals when I do Estes sessions, and I had a visual of this pyramid, and the best way that I could describe it was if you look at the back of a dollar bill, it's the pyramid. It has the eye on top with the lights shining through it. I saw that. Right. Yeah. Joseph was accused of stealing money, which is pretty interesting, especially, you know, coming from something like that, like, you know, especially us talking afterwards about that.
The all-seeing eye is a Mason symbol as well. I don't know.
Right. It's also a Masonic symbol. Yeah. Now there's a photo that was taken of us during that investigation. Gary took it and sent it, and I was sharing the photos with everybody because Gary had sent them to me, and I'm sharing. And Ernesto actually, he's like, "Dude, look at this!" And if you zoomed into the window that's up to the window for the attic, it actually looks like a pyramid. With the top,
the Egyptian pyramid,
you know, but
like
it looked
three UFOs around it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, it looked like another world, man. It looked like, I swear, it looked like another dimension, man. I was freaking out. Immediately, I'm like, dude, we just peered into another dimension. How insane is this?
Yeah.
And then Mike has to, you know,
Mike
burst the bubble. You know what I mean?
Mad scientist, right?
He literally. Well, that's actually really good because it was a good way to debunk something that we were freaking out about.
So that's, you know, obviously we want to look at it a little further. So what I did is I took some images from Google Earth and I started looking at them and different things and different photos of the layout. And what it was is there's an old church and it has a pointed steeple type building right in the line of that window, and I narrowed it down where what you're seeing was the reflection, and the top of the part of the church that is a perfect pyramid, and the way it's lined up. So we ended up debunking it and figuring out what it was, and it was, it was awesome looking at first. It was exciting, but it was not paranormal.
Yeah, it was debunked.
And by the way, Joseph supposedly hung himself there. He committed suicide because he was accused of stealing money.
We had somebody in the comments said, somebody in the comments earlier, I put it up. They said, like, if he said I was hung here, was it possible that he didn't kill himself? Then
I've also, it's not a fact.
I thought about that too, man. Just because of the way it was, like, the EVP came off as like I was hung here. Maybe the facts aren't the facts. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he didn't do it to himself. Who knows?
Yeah.
Especially with as long ago that it happened, there's no way for us to know, how it really happened. There was he was hanged, but we don't know if he did it himself or if somebody hanged him.
Now Armando said that there was storm activity that night and it ramped up the activity. And Mary said that the storms can cause some energy, and I totally agree with her. I think that did ramp things up.
100%.
Yeah, we actually were on the show last night. We were talking with a couple other investigators, and they said
barometric
the same thing,
pressure.
Barometric pressure, a barometric pressure drop.
Cody from Ghost Hunters.
Exactly, and Satori.
So
we were talking about barometric
Good
pressure.
Peeps. And shout out to them if they're watching.
When you have a storm moving in, you have a very low pressure drop as well.
A lot of static too, if there's lightning.
Yeah, none of us thought to bring an umbrella either that night.
Right?
We all got soaked.
We all just got soaked. Yep.
I didn't bring out my camera. I know. I left my camera
with my camera under a shirt or something.
Do we have any more videos of that night?
Had a fistful of equipment just running in the rain.
Those are just the videos that I wanted, that really stood out that I wanted to show. But I just wanted to let everyone know real quick that if you're local, you can go and experience this at our events. We always advertise it on our social media on our ticker that you see down below. You'll be able to see all our events all over South Florida.
Yeah, we have an upcoming event. Again, I'm going to mention this. We have an upcoming event this Saturday at Gold Coast Railroad Museum. That's always a great event.
Very haunted. We're going to do a show on that one too.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome
very, very
awesome
active.
location.
And that is it was Richmond Naval Air Station. It was an old Navy base that was torn down during a hurricane, and it's packed full of train cars. So that's going to be a whole nother episode in its own.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I wanted to mention was when we were doing the Delco experiment, there was another point where Joe shouted out, "I want to fly," and I didn't make the connection, and Eric did. He goes, "Well, Jacob fell out of the second story window. He was a child."
Yeah,
and then I started asking Jacob, "Is that you? Did you want to fly?" And we were getting some responses back that correlated with that as well. So we
were talking to several spirits that night.
Yeah.
Which is really rare. Like usually it's like one or the other, but it's mostly Joseph. But it was good to.
Yeah, he seems to be the more predominant. Spirit there.
Yeah. And then when you're downstairs, you also get Mary. We get a lot of the females coming through. What we believe is Mary. And that she, from what I've been told and speaking to some of the historians there, she isn't even like part from the house. She never lived in the house, I believe. I think that they were saying that they had, because imagine all the furniture is not original to the house. It's period correct.
Yeah.
But they brought things in, and they feel that maybe it might be an attachment to some of the china that was brought in.
Well, there's a ton of things going on there. It used to be a funeral parlor. I mean, bodies went through there. Maybe a spirit was, trying to transition after death and maybe was stuck there. Like, who knows? It used to be at a cemetery, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of dark history behind that building itself.
And you know, and before even Carl Riddle bought the house, I think he purchased it in 1920. It was built in 1908, I believe, by Henry Flagler. So, you know, there's history before that. You know, we don't know a ton of who was there before that.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's stuff that we need to keep digging into. You know, the more we go, the more we uncover. That's one of the things that I love about going back to these locations over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, every time we go, it's never the same. We get
No,
a
it's
new
not.
piece of
We get
thing.
more. Yeah, we get more stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they almost have
location.
Yeah, and they
Right,
almost
and
have like a connection to each other. Like Henry Flagler had something to do with the Riddle House. Henry Flagler built the railroad all the way to Key West. There's a railroad station that goes through a location that we investigate that's super haunted. Well, probably one of the most haunted places in Fort Lauderdale, the New River Inn. And then
he built half of St. Augustine and the old jail there. Henry Flagler.
And then you got St. Augustine. Like,
that's a massive hotspot right there. Yes.
Yeah, like.
I mean,
maybe,
that's like
spirits
12
passing through the
episodes.
railroad.
That's like a year of every Monday night talking about St. Augustine.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like, yeah, when our future shows come up and we talk about other locations that we go to, they all sort of have like a connection when it comes to like the history as well, which is pretty cool. Almost got to be like a historian, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, real quick, is that at yesteryear, you know, the Riddle House might be one of the most popular because of the TV stuff and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But there's so many other active locations on site.
Oh
there.
yeah, definitely.
Joe and I had some crazy experiences at the little school that's there. And these were all places that were moved there. They were all moved to this historical center. So they were local to Florida, but they were, you know, restored and moved into the one location. There's the pineapple processing plant, where that one has a pretty grim history as well. You know, there was some plantation workers and things like that, and they didn't want their kids to get into mischief while they were out working, so they locked them into the building. And you know, the hot Florida sun, and they didn't make it when they came home.
Yeah, definitely.
And what about the general as well? There was a Civil War general, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Captain Richards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know what it is. I think it's like, since there's so much energy and a lot of those buildings have like activity, like, I don't know, maybe you could bring like another building in there and it's just going to spark up activity just because of what's going on in that whole village, right?
We were at the
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. That I was saying, I even believe that the spirits that are in yesteryear village period, I think that they are able to travel between the different locations in there. This weekend, we had an event on Saturday, and I got a couple of EVPs in the Firehouse Museum. That's where Jacob came up quite a few times this weekend. So, you know, maybe that's who the boy that is being heard and seen in the.
We got a few minutes left, guys.
Yep.
And then we're gonna
we got about like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Is there any questions from anybody that's here on our YouTube or the Facebook or anything like that? If you want to throw out any questions to any of us, if you want to ask a specific question, just put hashtag Mike, Joe, Ernesto, Eric, and then ask the question. And or if it's just a general question, you could throw it out there.
Yep. And stay tuned. This is every Monday night. Every Monday night from 9 to 10 p.m.
And then tonight we're going to keep to the 1 hour. But following, we're going to cut off at 10 o'clock for the KGRA listeners. But the YouTube and the Facebook stuff can stay going. So some Monday nights, if you tune in and we got a hot topic and we got a lot of stuff that's going on, we can stay on and go on.
Yeah, and thanks for everyone for watching us.
Good night, Zap.
It's Zap's bedtime. Thanks for the shout out, Zap. We much appreciated. You'd be representing, right?
Yeah, that's another thing. Is, by the way, you know, we've filmed a lot of stuff with featured segments on Premiere Impactigo and Univision and different things like that. So we're doing different things and getting out there as, get our name out there so people feel more comfortable approaching us if they need help with a residential.
I think I got a question here from Mark Romero. Am I going to do more on location sessions? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to try to go out as much as possible. I will be joining these guys on Saturday at Gold Coast, and we're going to see what we can come up with, and we're going to see how many experiments we can do, and just kind of, cover a lot of ground, man, because that place is huge and it's really, really fun. So, yes, to answer your question, I'll be definitely doing a lot more stuff on location for sure.
By the way, stay tuned for our upcoming show on the Gold Coast when we're going to go live on Saturday night, and then we're going to talk about it on Monday, like a show like this.
Here's a question.
You're talking about the DR60. Leah said that. Eric, remember the specific recording device that is rare to find but really good for EVPs? Who wants to go there?
That's that DR.
We're going to end it off with that, the DR60.
The DR60 is an amazing piece of equipment. It was built in 1998. They were discontinued because people were hearing voices on them and things like that. So Panasonic discontinued them and put out a memo saying that it was recording its own internal workings. Digital recorders don't have internal workings. So these were EVPs that people were capturing. They're discontinued. They're very rare. And they're going from anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 on eBay right now. I think we have a total of like almost 20 of them on our team. And they are amazing.
We own them all.
Armando's dual wielding, as I call it, double fisting DR60.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought we couldn't say stuff like that on here, man.
Double
Tim's
fisting?
like it has 100 in each hand.
I think there was a question. There was a question about the Gulfstream Hotel, if we've ever been there.
That used to be one of our locations where we used to do events, but it got into some type of trouble. So they got new owners now. So I don't know. Maybe one day we'll be going back in there in the future. All right. So I just want to thank everyone, our guests, our teammates. We're gonna have other teammates on the show. Thanks, Ernesto. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for having me, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
no, it was
Awesome.
good, man. It was fun. It was good seeing you guys.
Mike, thanks for being my co-host.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Follow War Party Paranormal. Follow, I'm on Instagram. I'm EV Paez Paranormal or Modern Mimes. Check us out, modernmimes.com. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm in a band, so I have to plug my band. Sorry, guys.
I'm throwing Tim back up here.
You can find me, Joe Hunts Ghosts, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Tim, where can they find you?
Hey guys, good show. Longhairghosthunter.com, IG, YouTube, ghostlyexperiences.net. So
Eric, if they want to see some of your personal content, where can they find you?
Ghost Hunter, South Florida, on IG, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
All over. Just Google us.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Joe,
as an old
where can they
man,
find you?
Instagram, Joe Hunts Ghosts, Facebook, YouTube. Mike, go.
And
hurry up.
Hurry up. We got to wrap it up.
Florida Paranormal Researcher on all your social media.
And quick shout out to everybody, War Party Paranormal. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. This is congratulations, Mike and Eric. This is awesome, and can't wait to see what you guys got in store for us.
Without all you guys, it's a team effort.
Absolutely.
Hey, real quick, guys.
Go ahead.
As an old man of the bunch, I see a great future for ghost hunting. I'm proud of all you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Great show. Good job.
Right. Yeah, we appreciate you, Tim.
Yeah, you guys are doing great, man. Great team.
All right, appreciate that. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Later.